ISB show. The boys are back, and we are covering the host US and Canada critical prep matches. We had the ones before. These are the final matches of this window, guys. And what happened? We won. The U.S. men's national team won a match. Can you guys believe that? What just happened? It was a full moon or something, and we beat Japan. Little caveat to that, but we beat Japan. That's huge, guys. Huge.
Okay, let's get the important stuff out of the way first. Temper expectations for a minute. This was a Japan B, maybe C plus team.
It was a C plus.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start with that. But boy, does it feel good. Exhale. Everyone with me. Just breathe for a second. Yes, we can still win games. Yes, it's fun to win games. When you score, you take a lead. It's fun. The second half was fun. There was some passing. We hit the crossbar. There was some flicks. There were some tricks. We can still play this game, Roycito.
Listen, key is to temper expectations. This was not a A. It was not a B. It was somewhere between a C plus and a B minus Japan team. And as we saw with this Japan team, there is a fairly steep drop-off between starting 11 and the next in line. Not at every position, but at some positions, there's a fairly steep drop-off. And we saw that today. So temper the expectations. This is 3 days after that disaster class performance against South Korea. So just like the entire US fan base, I feel this national team is bipolar. We get two completely different from us celebrating. Look how we are today. We're excited. We're having a blast. We're having fun. Talk to us 3 days ago. We are the most pessimistic, miserable, sorrowful individuals on planet Earth. This needs to slow down. We need to pump the brakes. We need to relax. We need to give Pochettino a little bit of time. Is he the right hire? To be determined.
Now you want to give him time. The same media landscape. I heard fire Pochettino. I heard he doesn't care. I heard he's lazy. I heard he doesn't know American players. Now all of a sudden, give him time. Give him time. This is the issue with the silly American soccer media landscape. They want to make headlines. They want to overreact, and they'll tell you things. Fire the manager. He doesn't care. But he's been there a year. Give him time is the correct answer. It doesn't mean after this friendly win against a subpar Japanese team that we should say he's done a great job. We shouldn't also say that after the past losses, he should be out. He's brought in for the World Cup. Let's see how it goes. There's still time. I'm neither here nor there, but this was better. This was better, Roycito.
Yeah,
it was better. Was this better or not?
Oh, 100% it was better. I think one thing we should talk about, though, guys, is a little bit of the personnel, right?
Yes.
Because I think there was a little bit of a different personnel from last match that started to this match.
Yeah, can I start with one important individual? Because what nobody knows is there was a side text going on between Roycito and I, which often happens.
I know who you're going to say.
Where he was telling me that, Balogun hasn't done it. I just love Sargent. Sargent should be the one starting. Balogun has never done it for the U.S., never looked good. You're just super excited about this player. Look, I said this after the last game that there's a clear difference and there's a clear answer at number 9. And after this game, if you don't believe that when healthy, Folarin Balogun is the starting 9, you are not watching this game. You are not watching soccer. You're watching something else. Because it's very clear. It's not just the goalie squad, which is cool, calm, collected. It's the hold-up play. It's the touches. It's the understanding with Christian Pulisic. It's all the little things that add up. It's a world of difference. And I'm not knocking Josh Sargent, who has moments when he can be effective. But the truth is, Folarin Balogun is just a better, more dangerous number 9, Roycito.
Listen, I'm gonna give you this one. You're right. We were discussing this. I did express my love for Josh Sargent as a forward at the club level.
Sure.
I did admit that on the international stage, he has yet to show that. My view on Josh Sargent is this is a player who requires a certain type of tactical setup. What he has at Norwich City is the attack kind of runs through him. He's laying off passes. He's playing through balls. He's scoring and creating his own goals from zero. He's an exceptional forward in the championship. Arguably, I don't think I should even add the word arguably in there. He is the best forward in the championship. He's one of the best players across Europe when he, not taking into consideration level, but he's one of the most productive forwards across Europe. And he can't, for whatever reason, get it done with the national team. I don't know if it's because he's timid. I don't know if it's tactics or a mix of both.
This is a praise of a number 9 who's very good. And people have forgotten because Balogun was injured for a long time. But the last time we saw this player, he put in a banger, right, against Panama in the Copa America. So let's not forget what he's done time and time again for this team.
No, I would agree. I would agree with Rahi on this. I think Balogun has shown that, given the way he's played, until someone else emerges, this is the number 9 for sure for the U.S. men's national team as of today. I want to talk a little about the goalie, guys. So Matt Freese now has come up with a decent match this particular match, right? So in lieu of anyone else, is Matt Freese the goalie for the U.S. men's national team?
100%. Right now, 100%. Because what are our other options, guys? We no longer have a Matt Turner who is in a starting conversation in Europe. We no longer have a player like Tim Howard. We no longer have someone absolutely killing it in MLS. Matt Turner right now, and I just sent you a video from his game over the weekend, Rocky. He's not playing all that well for the New England Revolution in MLS. He had a couple weird mistakes where he got scored on in a 3-0 blank out over the weekend. He's not looking great. He's not looking confident. Matt Freese has simply shown that he's a more reliable goalkeeper right now for the national team. And I'm going to have a hot take. For me, the player of the match was Matt Freese today. I thought he was excellent. I thought he exuded confidence. I felt good for the first time in a long time, knowing we have a solid goalkeeper back there. I'm not saying he's going to play like this every game. He hasn't played like this every game. Right. But if he builds upon this, he is our starting goalkeeper at the World Cup.
I'm going to go someone else. I thought Freeman was excellent.
2 games in a row.
Good.
And 2 games in a row, Rocky.
Sorry?
2 games in a row he's been excellent.
Yeah, he's been good.
He changed the game.
And think about when Mitoma came in, he actually did a good job on Mitoma, which I was surprised. He really did a good job. Now, there are spots where he's going to struggle, certainly against good players, but I was really impressed. And considering how poor Dest was in that spot in the last game, I'm just really encouraged by what I saw from Freeman. So, look, maybe Pochettino's getting some things right. It's way too early. Obviously, just 1 game. So, but I did like Freeman.
Okay, so before we move on to Canada, for the U.S. men's national team now, if this game is in the books, where do we go from here, guys? How do they build off this momentum? Where do they take it? Because this is finally a point where we are ending an international window and being like, wow, there's a little bit of positivity that's come back into the fold.
I think this ended up being a better window than I thought it would be. After the South Korea game, I thought, what a disaster. There's more questions than answers. We've introduced new players. Most of them have not shown that they deserve to be here. What do we do about Mr. Berhalter? What do we do about a player like Zendejas? I think we have still more questions than answers because Zendejas came in and had an excellent game. He was one of the best players on the field. And a freaking golazo. I don't know many other U.S. players that could pull that off the way he did. I thought Max Arfson had a very, very strong game as well. I thought, like you said, Freeman, a lot of players came in and had a clean game, but someone that nobody is going to talk about in this game. And if you look through, I haven't looked through the reviews, but I guarantee you, they're going to say he was invisible. They're going to say he had no impact. They're going to say he doesn't belong. Do you know which player I'm talking about? They're all wrong.
I'm going to say, and I think he was tidy. You're talking about Christian Roldan, who was good. He was good, but I don't think he has a place in a starting roster. I think he belongs maybe in the roster for his experience, perhaps, but I just don't. I hear you. He was good. He deserves a lot of praise for all he's done for the team over the years, his consistency, how good he's been. But I think this World Cup arrives too late for him.
I don't know, man. I agree he doesn't get a starting spot, But what he did today was quietly crucial. It was quietly crucial. He led the press.
Yeah,
I agree with Roy, and I think if it's not him, if it's not him, whoever's in that role needs to play exactly like Cristiano Ronaldo did in this particular game. So that's the thing.
No, he was very good. Yeah, very good.
So we have some Canadian fans out there to wrap up sort of the host aspect of this video. Canada went and won again. They went to Europe and won again, guys. So basically, this is 2 wins back to back. This was off speaking of golazos, Cornelius free kick, absolute golazo.
Center back taking a free kick and just nailing it.
Absolute golazo, yes.
If we tempered expectations and talked about the Japan B team, this was a Wales B team. This was an experimental Wales team. He made a lot of changes to the lineup. So just being honest about that. Now, it's an impressive Canadian performance. And I know that we had some people in the comments tell us Canada was missing players and they're not playing their starting lineup necessarily. They're missing players because they're unavailable, right? Because Alphonso Davies is not available, right?
Yeah.
Because Bombito is not available. But the point we're making holds true. For the most part, Canada has played a fundamental core game to game to game and switched out certain players. Yes, at times, sometimes for availability, sometimes to try out different players. But if you look at the consistency of the roster from game to game, Gold Cup, Ukraine friendly, Romania friendly, Wales friendly, it's a very similar lineup. And I understand, yes, Alistair Johnson, a great player, is not there either. But the point we're making is the approach that Jesse Marsch has is very different than a setup like the US, where they're still experimenting with players, bringing in, changing the formation. Jesse Marsch hasn't really changed much about the way they're playing, hasn't changed much about the fundamental structure. So we know, we watch Canada. We're not saying that this is the A team. We're saying it's a stylistic choice to play the same way, and that's working out. Sorry, I just had to answer some comments because,
What do you got to say, Roy?
We don't know Canada. We know Canada.
What do you got to say, Roy?
I would say you got torn apart by that comment section, Rocky. I read through those comments as well.
Roy was probably writing some of those comments. But all right, Roy, what do you got to say? You haven't had your take on Canada in a while. What do you got to say about this team?
Yeah, I think this team is a dark horse at this upcoming World Cup.
They're a good team, not a dark horse.
They are a dark horse. They are a dark horse to the world. They might not be a dark horse in this region, but to the world, nobody's thinking about Canada. Until now, they've gone to Europe. They won 2 matches in a row. Nobody in their right mind would expect this Canadian team. Canada's always been known as a failed soccer country, a failed national team, a team that cannot compete on the international stage, that never makes the World Cups. That's what Canada has always been known for. This Canadian team is such a drastic difference, such a monumental improvement from the Canada teams of the past, that they need to be put on notice. They are a dark horse in this World Cup. If they continue performing this way, they're going to do some damage, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a quarterfinalist at this next World Cup with the way they're playing, with the way they're clicking. And Rocky, one thing I got to say is you've been talking a lot of smack about Mr. Jesse Marsch. I'd love to hear if you're still talking smack about Mr. Jesse Marsch, because you wanted his head on a platter. You were saying they hired wrong. He's arrogant. Look how poorly it's going. Look at this drama with Alphonso Davies. You were all over him. You've been mighty quiet in this video about him.
Tell me one massive competitive game that Jesse Marsch has won in recent times. The biggest failure was the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup. Look, I'll give you, these are good, but look at what Ukraine has done in qualifying to date. Look at what Ukraine did today in qualifying. Look at what Romania has done, just tying Cyprus. These are not impressive teams, right? This was an experimental Wales team. These are friendlies. Yes, they're away in Europe, but let's not get too excited about it yet. When they should have won, when they had a tournament right in front of them, and a USB team, a Mexico team that was reeling, they lost to a Guatemala team that they had no business losing to. And that is squarely on the shoulders of the manager, Jesse Marsch. So you can talk all you want. It's all roses. They're winning some friendlies away, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until you get competitive games. And all I'm saying is I'm reserving the right to hold judgment until and unless we see this team compete and perform at a major tournament. because
So
they
you're gonna
have
wait
not
for the
done
World
that.
Cup to have a comment about Canada. I think that's ridiculous.
The,
They
Go-
should
the
be
Gold
judged on
Cup
these
is the
performances.
biggest.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
unequivocally a
Gold Cup
huge
is
failure.
gone.
A
Gold
huge
Cup is
failure.
gone.
Do you not
right.
agree that the Gold Cup was a failure for Canada?
Yeah, but I disagree with
Absolute
you.
failure.
No.
The U.S. went to the final with the B team and Canada. Yes,
Yeah.
missing a couple players, but not many. Lost
Yeah.
to Guatemala.
But why are you
Ronald.
talking about the Gold Cup when we have more recent matches to look
Because
at
these aren't
against
because
better teams? These are better teams than 90% of the teams at the Gold Cup, better
But
than
they-
that USA team that showed up, and they're performing away from home, and they're getting it done where
But
no
my
other
point is you
CONCACAF
have to
team
do
gets
it on the biggest
results.
stage, because I'm telling you that Jesse Marsch, his issue, physicality has bothered Canada. Yes, the physicality of some of the Central American teams has bothered them. Eastern European teams don't play with the same physicality. It's a little different. Number two, I do believe that it's a pressure thing, that he puts too much pressure on his team in big tournaments. I really believe that. And he's going to have to lighten things up and have more of a sort of easy breezy kind of atmosphere.
More of a
for them to do well.
Pochettino approach.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. These, we can keep going on all night about these two teams, but both of them, it's a rare day, but both of them won today, and so we can say truly and proudly that CONCACAF did well from that perspective. So,
we had another comment about not talking about Mexico and Japan.
Yeah.
The Mexico who managed all of 0 shots against Japan. But anyways, today they did have a good game. Santi Jimenez and Raul Jimenez scoring.
Tremendous
Crazy
game.
game. 2-2 draw with Korea. Fun one. But without the Jimenez brothers, Mexico is... and that's the team right there. Dos Jimenez.
They were far superior to South Korea today.
I don't know if that's true. I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say far, but they were superior.
But they were inferior against Japan. If we're being honest, Japan was the much better side.
Yeah, which I think
don't know
everyone
about
agreed on.
much
But
better,
we'll talk more about Mexico in another video. We owe the Mexican fans out there a video because I think it's about time. So, all right, everyone who's enjoying the videos, please subscribe to the channel. U.S. fans, let us know how you are celebrating this victory against Japan, and Canadian fans, a good window for you guys as well. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. Everyone out there, we will be back soon for the next international break. Until then, keep watching the beautiful game and see y'all soon.
I love Canada.